What's up, everybody? So look, this time, I showed you guys in recent videos, we're going to be highlighting what Sony has said about live service, after everything, right? There's a lot to talk about here. So, Sony's annual business segment meeting for PlayStation was last night. Unlike last year's event, however, this one did not take live questions. So down here, I didn't show this last time, so we're going to get right to this. We're not going to play this yet, but we're going to rewind this here. So this is what we're getting to. Ready? Sony remains committed to diverse, Jesus, and resilient live service games. Concord, this fair game. All this does is destroy companies. Including forthcoming Marathon and Fairgames, despite high-profile failures. Live and let live. Stupid mentality. How do they not see this, guys? How do this live chase goose has literally burned the company? Literally, this is why I had that one that right here, y'all. This is why I had this. See this right here? That thumbnail, Jim Ryan, all the offices and all burnt down. Yeah, that. So I guess Jim Ryan never really left then, huh? No, guess not. Jesus, man. Yeah, are we ready? Far from being done in this video.
We're also very excited about Marathon's anticipated launch in this fiscal year.
Great. Speaking of Marathon,
we're also very excited about Marathon's anticipated launch in this fiscal year.
Great. Speaking of Marathon,
still coming out this fiscal year. Okay. Got some artwork to fix, which that shouldn't take forever. But there's a lot more. Oh, and by the way, this game was supposed to have a full PvE universe, but they kept on denying that. And Sony's taking over Bungie now, if y'all didn't know that, because the suits just failed. So just letting y'all know that. They're now Bungie's developer. If you go take a look at Sony's updated developer list, Bungie is now there. So yeah, Sony's now taking over Bungie. So let's go down here. During an annual Sony business presentation, CEO Herman Host stated the company remains committed to building a diverse and resilient portfolio of live service games, which includes the unreleased Marathon and Fair game. That's despite high-profile live service failures in addition to controversy with these two forthcoming games. Host stated that Sony is building on the success of games such as Helldivers 2 and Destiny 2 for future projects. Yeah. Add in, we're looking forward to showcasing our progress with Marathon, a game that has seen no shortage of controversy recently. Helldivers 2, the large jewel in Sony's live service crown, thanks to the developers, not you and your stupidity and region locking, was dubbed a resounding critical and commercial success by Host, who highlighted both its ability to retain a passionate community and win industry awards. Yeah, because you decided to include PC as well. Smart move. I'll give you credit for that. Watch the Marathon gameplay trailer if you want. No thanks. Host called Marathon innovative and bold. I guess you definitely are bold for selling some artist's work who don't have any money that you could have easily paid for, included her and stuff, and made her life better even after getting caught, but you still have yet to come out and do anything about that because you're not going to, because you guys are scumbags. But okay, yeah, that's innovative and bold, you moron. Okay. No other compliments were offered to Bungie's upcoming extraction shooter, which Arc Raiders looks way better than, through the accompanying slide noted strong early engagement as its prime achievement so far. Oh yeah, prime achievements. Okay, yeah, please tell me where. An interesting perspective to be sure, at least as far as Marathon is concerned. While much of what Holt said about Helldivers 2 is true, the game has managed to remain a fantastic success story for the industry giant. Marathon has found itself on the receiving end of some exceptional problems. Yeah, big time. The strong early engagement, and there's still cowards that haven't done anything good, probably, noted in the presentation doesn't reflect the available player figures for the game's closed alpha. During this short-lived test, Marathon sheed roughly 80% of its initial alpha player base as far as engagement via discussion. Marathon's many problems dominated the conversation, such as its locked 3-player format and lack of feasible solo mode, denying PvE for years by the suits because they're morons, repetitive nature, yeah, because you don't have any PvE, it would have been a perfect balance, you ruined it. lack of crucial extraction shooter features such as proximity voice, and more. One of the biggest merits of Marathon was its aesthetic, which soon soared due to an art plagiarism scandal, which we were talking about. Bungie admitted the use of external art in games development processing. So we know about all this, right? We don't need to read all that again. But let's go over here real quick. This is what they say. Marathon isn't going to be another Concord, Sony insists. We're not going to make the same mistake again. That's a bold and innovative statement, Sony. Definitely a bold statement. No. Yeah, I'm being a smart ass if y'all get it. Okay, Marathon isn't going to be the next Concord. According to Sony Interactive Entertainment Studio Business Group CEO Herman Host, him again, the guy who chose Concord. In a recent fireside chat, which like I said, he does great with Guerrilla, he did great with Horizon, but it doesn't mean he's like some top of the pyramid guy that needs to be put in all these positions, and I haven't seen it so far since with investors. Host admitted that Concord fell short of Sony's expectations. Fell short? Fell short? It's an understatement, man. But added that the publisher has learned some valuable lessons in the wake of the Hero Shooter's disastrous August 2024 launch and subsequent cancellation. After praising the success of Helldivers 2, Host conceded that the publisher had also faced its share of challenges in recent months, using Concord as an example and assuring investors that Sony had made moves to ensure that Marathon, the upcoming first-person extraction shooter from Bungie, won't face the same fate. Host also praised the work that the new defunct Firewalk studio put into Concord, citing the competitive nature of the live service genre and marketing issues as the main culprits behind the game's failures, which ultimately led to refunds and the closure of the development studio. I think some really good work actually went into that title. Some really big effort, Host said of Concord, but ultimately the title entered into a hyper-competitive segment of the market. I think it was insufficiently differentiated to be able to resonate with players. And so we have reviewed our process in the light of this to deeply understand how and why that title failed to meet expectations, to ensure we're not going to make the same mistakes again. I hate to tell you to you, man, but you kind of already did 2 times. One with this game and one with Fairgame. You don't see it? I'm not saying I want that to happen. I'd rather you guys make good games and get back to good IPs and get back to making good single-player games that people like to know PlayStation 4. Not this live service goose chase, like I said, because it's just moronic. And you still haven't shown that it is giving you a significant advantage when you should be unbalanced with what you're good at doing. And then, like I said, balancing this. I can understand if Bungie was attempting that because they're good at doing that. That whole thing, and then you're still sitting here saying you want to go through with it, your arrogance better pay off or you're in deep trouble. Okay, I think some really good work, like he was saying about Marathon. We'll see, though. Host explained the new operating procedures that have been implemented at Sony to ensure the publisher doesn't repeat history when Marathon launches later this year. Oh my God, they're still going to try to launch that. We've introduced much more rigorous processes for validating. That better be crunching down big time. For revalidating our creative sleeping inside the office with, food, snacks, and chips up in there. Our commercial and our development assumptions and hypotheses. And we now do that on a much more ongoing basis. So they're getting much more involved, they say. Let's hope so, because how did that art aspect happen? What did you know about that and didn't say anything? Host said, that's the plan that will ensure we are investing in the right opportunities at the right time, all while maintaining much more predictable timelines. Bunch of nothing. For Marathon, it's our goal to release a very bold, very innovative, and deeply engaging title. It's going to be the first new Bungie title in over a decade, so we're really excited for that release. We're going through the test cycles. This is what he said before. We're monitoring the closed alpha cycle. The team has just gone through. We're taking all the lessons learned. We're using the capabilities we've built in analytics and user testing to understand how audiences are engaging with the title. Host admitted that although some of the user feedback has been varied, it has also been super useful in regard to Marathon's development. That's why you do this testing. I agree with him on that. Keep testing. Show that you're improving it before you launch it. The constant testing, the constant revalidation of assumptions that we just talked about, to me, is just what's so valuable to iterate and to constantly improve the title. So when launch comes, we're going to give the title the optimal chance of success. If it was free to play, probably through $39.99 we're going to see. The only reason you may get away with that is because it's Bungie. but we're going to see. A former Firewatch Studios developer also seems to agree that Marathon deserves a chance. Why is Concord? No, you don't say anything. Wouldn't want you saying anything for me. No. I worked on Concord. Why? Shut up. And did my best. The developer shared on Reddit. We came up short. Please don't punish others for our mistakes. Don't say anything. Just let it speak for itself. That was for entertainment, but just I don't want to see that. No. Good Lord, man. So yeah, let me know what y'all think about this. We see it here. Sony is not backing down on the live service push. And they said they're not going to make the same mistakes again. Guys, let's bookmark this and remember this. They're not going to make the same mistakes again. Bookmark. Oh, well, I'll bookmark it after this. But oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, we're going to bookmark this. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this, all right? Until they show me they can get some organization going and get some stability, this right here to me is just stupid. Sony remains committed to diverse and resilient lives. Resilient? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Does it make any sense? Fairgames? We haven't even seen anything on it. All those people were leaving. Tell me how this looks good. I just don't know. Ponies, sit down. All right, y'all. Peace out. Have a great day.